The Prism family is the latest addition to the Symetrix line of Dante-enabled DSPs. Symetrix uses Dante, a multi-channel digital media networking technology, to interconnect multiple Symetrix DSPs, Symetrix I/O expanders, and third-party Dante-enabled devices. Prism is ideally suited for applications requiring powerful, extremely cost-effective advanced signal processing coupled with means for future expansion. There are 4 models: Prism 4x4, 8x8, 12x12, and 16x16. The DSP, analog audio, and converter technologies are identical in all 4. The primary difference among the family members is the number of analog input and output channels. Let's take a look at the hardware. Using the Prism 4x4 front panel as an example, Prism displays information including audio levels, unit name, IP address, MAC address, site file version, and faults on an easy-to-read white-on-black 256 by 64 pixel graphic OLED display. To the right of the display is a momentary push button used to wake up the display, cycle through menus, and dismiss notifications. Around back, again using the Prism 4x4 as an example, an ARC port supports connection to the Symetrix line of ARC wall panels, including the ARC 3, a controller with a bright, crisp OLED display, and a universal mounting system. Prism's Gigabit Dante port supports up to 64 by 64 channels of low-latency network audio utilizing off-the-shelf switches. An Ethernet port is used for initial programming and real-time third-party control over IP. In the case of the Prism 4x4, this port also receives power from a PoE Plus switch or injector. The Prism 8x8, 12x12, and 16x16 have a power port for connection to an external 65-watt power supply. Prism can be programmed to drive external LEDs and relays in a wide variety of applications for many purposes. Prism 4x4 has 4 logic outputs. Prism 8x8, 12x12, and 16x16 have 8 logic outputs. Prism logic outputs have common ground pins. Logic is low when active and internally pulled high when inactive. Prism 4x4 has 2 analog control inputs that can be used either as 2 potentiometer inputs or 4 switch inputs. The Prism 8x8, 12x12, and 16x16 each have 4 analog external control inputs supporting 4 potentiometers or 8 switches. All Prism analog audio inputs accept either mic or line level signals, each channel having software controllable preamp gain with reference levels of -50 dBu, -40 dBu, -20 dBu, -10 dBV, and +4 dBu, plus or minus 24 dB of digital trim, 48-volt phantom power, signal inversion, and mute. Prism balanced analog outputs are software trimmed over a +12 to -72 dB range. Additional features of the Prism 4x4 include 2 convenient mounting options with kits sold separately. The rack mount kit consists of a 1U 19-inch rack tray and hardware. A 4x4 can be mounted alongside any other Symetrix half-rack hardware unit or by itself. The under-table surface mount kit consists of a half U-shaped bracket and hardware. Prism 4x4 is powered over Ethernet by a PoE Plus injector included with the units, or by an IEEE 802.3 AT Class 4 standard compliant switch. Back to the Prism 8x8, 12x12, and 16x16. They all use an agency-approved external 65-watt power supply included with each unit. Turning our attention to software, Prism is equipped with an embedded web server accessible using popular browsers by entering the device's local LAN, publicly accessible IP address, or its fully qualified domain name. The web interface displays Prism's current analog I/O levels, diagnostics, and Symetrix Arc Web, a real-time interface used to control Prism from phones, tablets, and computers. Programming for the Prism family is done in the same way as for Symetrix Edge and Radius DSPs, which use Composer, our award-winning Windows application. With Prism and compatible Symetrix I/O expanders and control products, integrators can deliver low-cost, high-performance systems at price points not even imaginable just a few short years ago. For more information on Prism, as well as all Symetrix DSPs and accessories, please visit symetrix.co.